as it pertains to Black people, especially Black men, I like to hug all my homies. And I would tell all my homies hug me right back. Because, you know, in the culture, we don't really, Black men they tend to be portrayed as tough, hard, rigid, you know, have to live life, you know, very strenuous. And that's not how I operate. So all my Black male friends, I specifically make sure I go give them a dap, you know, gotta give them the dap, but you gotta come in for a hug too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta come in for a hug. And it's a tight one. We hold it for a couple seconds. So hold it for a couple seconds, especially if it's someone I haven't seen in a long time. Gotta come in and hold for a couple seconds because I think it's important for me to show my people love because we don't get it everywhere.
I'm Kim.
And I'm Camille, and this is Enneagram for the Culture, where two dope Black therapists discuss how therapy, Blackness, and the Enneagram come together.
Yes.
Hello.
Hey.
I'm really excited for today because I think it's a really fun, spin on our guest today.
Yeah, we're both smiling, and I think everybody can hear it.
So our guest today, we thought we're looking at our list of folks. We thought it would be a great idea to have our podcast editor on as a guest because he has been listening to the podcast and we're like, let's ask him. So I'm going to introduce him so that we can get to know him that way. And then we can go ahead and start to hear from him. So our guest today is Kress Estime. Is that correct? Okay. He was born in Haiti and moved to Florida when he was about 5. He has been living there ever since. He has several academic accolades, most notably a bachelor's degree in English from Florida Gulf Coast University. He almost became a teacher, but Kress found that it didn't serve him well. So he transitioned to his second love, technology. He has been working in IT for 6 years, and it's been an exciting and knowledgeable experience. A stable job has allowed him to pursue his passions, such as audio and video production, filmmaking, and soccer. He is currently working on the final edit of his first film, a documentary about the Ottoman encampment at the Florida Renaissance Festival. Yes. Welcome, Kress.
Wow. I love this.
Yeah.
That's how all the guests feel. You know what? I've actually never been a guest on a podcast. I've hosted several podcasts, but I've had guests, but I've never actually been a guest.
You know, that's on brand. We'll see, but that's on brand. You know, being a one who's supportive and helpful and giving, having a tendency to make sure you set up other people. But so you're our guest. Yeah, you're our guest.
Nice.
Thinking about Beauty and the Beast. You're our guest. So we're excited to have you.
Nice.
Really excited.
I'm excited to be here. I'm super happy. I'm glad we connected.
Me too. So shout out to LaDonna, right?
Yeah, shout out to LaDonna.
Yeah.
This is really cool. Yeah, I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, so LaDonna is our content writer. So she writes a lot of our Instagram content and she's really great with words. And so she connected us with Kress as an editor. And it's been a great relationship these last 2 years now. I think we're in year and a half of
I would say
together.
2. Yeah.
2 years. Yeah. So it's been good.
It's a blessing, right? Like it's so, to be able to connect with somebody in the first try, it feels like a good fit for everybody.
Really, I just love the concept of the podcast because
nice.
It was just one of these things that people don't think about. Because I often like thinking about things that aren't of the norm, that things that kind of just fall by the wayside and that we take for granted, like personality. You just, oftentimes you don't know how to quantify it or you don't know how to approach other people. And I think the Enneagram is a wonderful way to learn about not just yourself, but how you could affect other people around you as well. So when I heard about this podcast, I'm like, oh, this is super cool. Someone started this. This is wonderful. And they're therapists. What a win. Win-win.
Oh,
we
my
love
heart
it.
is doing little cartwheels over here. Thank you.
Thank you. And Kress always gets all of our bloopers. He hears all the times that
very funny.
Like, oh gosh, cut that out.
Like Kress will cut this out, and I'm like, I got you.
Yeah, it's great to have you. It's great to connect with you. This is gonna be fun. So you know the drill. So we're gonna start off with how the Enneagram has showed up for us.
Okay.
You can kick it off, Camille. I'm ready. Who wants to go?
I'll go first.
Yes.
And oh gosh, you're waiting for this. No.
Yeah.
So I found that so I recently started a new relationship. I say new, but it's been like 4 months. So I guess new. And I found myself really just falling right into my two-ness and just doing everything I can to take care of this person. Just going out of my way. And I mean, you think chivalry is dead? I'm single-handedly bringing that back.
Oh my goodness.
Or if I could put my jacket on a puddle, I would.
Oh my God.
This is one of those things of just like, oh man, this is exactly who I am. Just showing up in full throttle, full-fledged two-ness, just taking care of so many things, making reservations, making sure she's okay, making sure, she's working hard. I'm like, hey, did you eat today? Did you drink today? Hey, make sure you take water before you take this exam or something. Just making sure she's doing really well. And as I was reading back on the two aspects, I'm like, oh, yeah, no, perfect. Yeah, there's no need to take this test again.
Got it. I'm dead at the part about if I could put my jacket on a puddle, I would do it. Without skipping, you'd be like, oh my gosh, her shoes cannot get dirty.
Yeah. These are brand new.
I heard her talk about him last night.
Yeah. So true.
Yeah.
It's
just, yep.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
I think it allows me to listen attentively too, because I feel like it's kind of a blessing and a curse, because I feel like I want to fix every problem she has, but that's not my power, obviously.
Right. Yeah. Right.
But I'm always listening to things. I'm like, could I do that for her? Maybe next month, or maybe next, like, and I'm already planning like things that I could do to make things easier for her, because it's someone who I'm really enthralled with, who I'm really smitten with. So.
Oh gosh. Well,
we love to hear it.
Yeah, we do. Go ahead, clap for the man. Clap for him. Clap it on up. Clap it on up. You have no idea. All these
sweet, cynical heart needed to hear that. Oh, that was so good.
Right. Good start to the episode. Good start.
Yes. Hope. Y'all, that's what you're feeling right now. If you're listening and you're feeling it's hope. Keep it alive. Yep. Yeah. We need it. Thank you, son.
There are good Black men out there.
They are
trying.
Chivalrous. He said, I'm bringing it back. Bringing it back, baby.
Single-handedly bringing it back, he said.
We're here for it.
Oh my gosh, if someone put their jacket down for the puddle, I can't get over it.
What you gonna do, Camille? How you gonna act?
My mouth would drop open, and I would be like, what? And I thought I would laugh. I would think that was hilarious, and I would laugh. But I do actually. There's a moment I remember. I had this boyfriend, and I don't know if boys learn to do this or men learn to do this. I was holding his hand. We were walking on the street, and I was on the outside, like near the road. And he switched, and it was that tiny moment. You do it, Kress?
Yes. Consciously. Yeah. I'm like, oh no, you can't be next to the road. What if someone drives on a puddle or something? It's fine. Or what if someone's driving erratically and they hit the curb, and then you can't do that.
It was the sweetest moment. I still remember it. That was years ago. And I was like, so kind. And I am a feminist. I'm like, look, I'm fine. But it was just still so kind. I was like, that's right. I could have had a puddle splash on me.
It's the little things that matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lord, help us to get through this episode. Because I'm over here. My heartstrings.
You'll be fine. Don't worry. I'll tone it down. I'm sorry.
No, tone it down. This is what we need. We need these reminders. Oh, this is so good.
Don't tone it down. Turn it up. Turn it up. Or just wherever you're comfortable.
Yeah, single-handedly bringing it back. So all right, Kim.
Enneagram shut up for me.
Perfect. Nailed it. Kim, you ready or you want me to go?
I can go.
All right.
You know what it is.
I know what it is.
You do. We had our I'm in Durham because we had our photo shoot for season 3. So I came down for that and Father's Day. And I remember, Camille, when you said that 3s tend to keep a running like mental list. And I felt so seen. And oftentimes that list for me also has timestamps. So it's like, all right, 8 a.m. I'm going to do this. By this time, this needs to be done. By this time, I need to be onto this thing. And because like I've said, like I really kind of live by my calendar, by a calendar. So preparing to come for the photo shoot, I had it planned to like the minute, and I was going to be at least 30 minutes early for the shoot. And this is me leaving Charlotte at 5 a.m. to get to Raleigh for a 10 a.m. photo shoot. When I tell you, y'all know I love sleep. When I tell you, I popped up at, like, I was ready. I had all my stuff packed, like it was boom, boom, boom.
Organized.
It was so efficient.
Yeah.
Just so fluid. Had time to stop for a little potty break for me and Casey, still ahead of time. Get to Durham, drop Casey off, need to do my hair and my makeup to get to Raleigh.
And you got there on time. You got to Raleigh on time. Everything's still going smooth.
No, didn't get to Raleigh on time. I got to Durham on time. Ready to leave. Everything is done. I'm looking good. I killed my makeup. Hair looks like I'm beaten.
All right, now talk to him.
Thank you. Can't find my key. It's like it's coming back. I feel like coming back. When I tell you it's anxiety, it was absolutely fear. It was so intense. Like everything was ready. I'm on a mission. I'm being so super like efficient and productive and killing it and getting stuff done. And there's just this one thing that's like keeping me from being on time. I finally found it, but it rattled me so much. And by the time I got to the shoot, 30 minutes late, 15 minutes, like 20 minutes, somewhere around there. It was all over my face. And Camille saw me and she was like, it's okay. But this is how the Enneagram showed up. You need to write this down. And I was like, I'm already on it, friend. It took me a little while to calm down, but yeah, if you want to see a rattled 3, have something like as minute as, like one thing getting in the way of them trying to like execute their efficient, productive plan. And
slightly difficult plan. Also, it wasn't like you almost like, I'm going to wake up at 5. Like it was a very, I'm going to do this plan. Like that was a high level plan.
And you know what? Thank you for that, friend. You're absolutely right. That's another part of this is I feel like this very 3-ish is, even though we may tend to, have these plans, we tend to try to fit too much in it, right? Because we tend to something is dinging, a device that's not mine. Because we tend to be able to get so much done, I think we can overestimate at times. Like for me, I'll try to squeeze way too much in. And so there can be this like rushed or running late kind of all the time. And yeah, it's an indicator that I need to slow down. Slow down.
I felt bad for you. I felt bad for you that because I know that feeling for a different reason. And again, we always harp on this, like the motivation is different, but like, so I get that feeling of happy. I felt so bad for you. I just was like, I know that she's torn up inside. And then like, for me, the part is that I've let other people, like they were waiting on me. Like, I would be, ugh. So I was like,
that's a part of it. Yeah. It just feels, it feels like you guys remember when people used to say fail a lot? And like, I remember when that was a thing, but I never really because this is before, my type. And before I knew that I had a fear of failure, apparently, legitimately. Like it never really, when that was a trend, like I never really felt it. But that's exactly what that moment felt. I felt like I was failing. Like the list, the people, the podcast. Like I was failing. Yeah.
Ultimately, you did not fail though. You got it done.
Nope.
You got it done. No. I can understand you though, Kim, because my wing is 3. So I do a lot of planning. Like I said earlier, I do a lot of planning. I do like and oftentimes when things go awry, it tends to rile me up a little bit.
Yeah.
But I always try to bring things back to center because sometimes there are things outside of your control.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to keep that in mind too.
Absolutely. It was after I text Camille and was like, I can't find my key. Give me a second. I took a breath and I prayed. I was like, Lord, where's the key? And I looked down and it was in a laundry basket.
Yeah. Nice.
Picked it up, got in the car and was on my way. And this was something else that was interesting. On the way there was a terrible accident that happens often, where I'm like rushed to try to get somewhere. And I there's something that happens and it's kind of like God's way of letting me know, like, you're not the one who's in control here. Like I'm working everything out. And when I got there, like, my people, everybody's like, you're good. Take your time, take a breath. You're okay. You did your best. So.
Yeah, it did not fail at all. It happens. And yeah.
And we had a great shoot.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was really fun.
Nice.
My how it showed up for me is related to the shoot, and it's a little bit more related to you, Kim, but in a positive way. So this is good that you'll get I feel like we'll balance out. So our photographer who we love, she just can create such great magic. And I also
very talented.
She has shared that she's a 7. So shout out Amy if you're listening. And she just has the best ideas. And so this is not what I was going to talk about, but and I just love like her 7-ness of like, we're going to do this, like all these ideas for the shoot. And they really were really great ideas. And it was really fun. And she also does a good job of like really, she's not just fun. Like she'll give you these prompts when you're taking the pictures that just drop you down into these really great moments in your body that like she's able to capture. And it's like, wow, that's an extra layer than just taking pictures and making it fun.
Amy, girl, you was gifted. She's talented. I had to deal with a lot of photographers, and the way she's you're special, very special.
Yes. So one of the ideas she had when I saw her earlier in the week was she was like, you guys should make a playlist for the photo shoot. And I was like, that's a great idea, Amy. But and she's like, I think you'd like that, right, Camille? And in my head, I was like, absolutely not. Like, because I love a playlist. But that's way too much pressure. Like I was like, there is no way I'm going to be able to do this. And really, and then again, my 7-ness of like, it's not going to be the best. It's not going to be and what if it's not the most fun playlist? Like I'm going to be disappointed and it's going to stress me out. I'm going to overthink it. And no. So I immediately was like, I'm going to tell Kim because Kim's going to do this. Kim's going to be able to do this. And so Amy was like, great. So I just shoot Kim a very simple text, like not even really explaining that much about it. I'm like, hey, Amy said this idea. We should make a playlist. Listen, y'all, in Kim's planned high level plan, in her preparation for this photo shoot, Kim also comes. She's like, I do have a playlist. And she starts playing it. She's like, it's 4 hours long. And y'all, this playlist is top notch. Like this playlist has fun. It had some African beats. It had some gospel, like to uplift us. She even included some Taylor Swift for me. Like she had some Beyonce. Like she had beautiful, like empowering, like you're a beautiful Black woman songs. I mean, this thing is one of the best playlists I've ever heard.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, Camille.
Nice.
And I was just shaking my head. I was shaking my head when I was listening to it. Like she would. This is absolutely what Kim would do.
That's hilarious.
So thank you, friend. I've been listening to that playlist nonstop since you sent it to me.
Really?
Been loving it.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Yeah.
It might be my playlist of the year. Like it might be the one that how you have like a playlist that you just kind of keep going to the whole year?
Yeah.
That might be it.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
You have a feature at Spotify.
I would. I do. I would. I think that's going to be, that's something that I've joked. I've definitely said in another world or life. At some point, I probably will want to like DJ.
That'd be cool.
But that means a lot, Camille, because I did work on it.
Yeah.
I did work on it.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm glad you love it.
You could tell it was made with love and
it really was
intention. And I don't know where we were going with a 4-hour playlist for an 1.5-hour shoot, but you wanted
so this is the thing. You know, you just get going and it's just like, ooh, this song, ooh, this song, and ooh, this song. And a big part of it is I did just go ahead and add a lot of the songs from some of our EFTC playlist. Mm-hmm. So that made it, that kind of put us over.
I loved it.
Nice.
I loved it. That's how it showed up for me. Just noticing all of those things and being excited about it too, I guess.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah. So, Kress, we wanted to ask, how did you learn about the Enneagram and what is your Enneagram origin story?
How did I learn about the Enneagram? I dated this girl who told me about it. I had not known about it, and she is very into compatibility. So we were already on star signs. We were on, what was that other personality test? But they give you like a letter. It's like EFT something.
Yeah, Myers-Briggs.
Myers-Briggs.
That one. Yeah. And then we landed on the Enneagram. And that's when I first learned about it. And then I had to take this very extensive test. It was like over 127 questions to learn who I am. So yeah, she introduced it to me. I don't know what do you mean by origin story?
Like how that's that answer, but how long ago was that? And then what has your journey been with it? Like, did you keep looking at it with her? Did it fall to the wayside or yeah?
Yeah, I haven't, to be fair, once I did it, I did go back and look at it because I did it twice. I did it once with her and then I did it again by myself because it was very interesting, especially reading the other types. Mm-hmm. And I stayed the same. I didn't change. Mm-hmm. So I did it again. But ever since then, I never really went back to it. But as I was thinking about, when Kim told me we were going to do How the Enneagram Showed Up To, as I was reading back on it again, I'm like, oh man. Because I think back on times in my life, I'm like, this is unequivocally me. Like, there's no way I can change this. And as I'm reading back on it, everything just felt really, what's what I'm looking for? It just made me feel complete. So I'm like, okay, then I can trust this. This is who I am. This is a 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it's kind of stayed with me, even unknowingly. But for all intents and purposes, I never really harped on it too much.
And then you got roped into editing a podcast about it.
Now look. Oh, how life is silly.
Yeah. What were your, do you remember any reactions? How'd you feel about landing, being a 2, landing on being a giver?
It felt natural.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's always been who I am. At the time, I didn't have anywhere to place it, obviously, until I took the test. But yeah, it's always been who I am. I've always been someone who thought of others before myself. I've always put others before me, very caring, heart on the sleeve, very friends are family to me type of thing. All these things just really fit me. It's always been who I am. So the reaction wasn't too surprising to me. Yeah.
Camille, what's happening for you as you're listening to him? As just you're watching, What's going on? What's going on in your body?
I'm just loving listening to this and loving hearing that it just felt natural. And I'm like already excited for the next question because sometimes you like you just said, like sometimes you're like, it's always been who I am. Like me just saying that. I'm already excited for the next question. Just who I am.
I don't know if I should be excited now.
because I'm going to go ahead and ask it, Kim. I know you're
go ahead. Yeah.
The next question is about like, how does that intersect? How have you noticed your Enneagram number intersecting with your Blackness? Because I was just smiling because here's this Black man talking about, I've always been a giver. I've always had my heart on my sleeve. I'm bringing back chivalry. Like, and you don't hear that a lot. And, I'm actually thinking about my interactions with twos. I don't know a lot of Black male twos. I know one other, but it's not the loudest narrative of Black masculinity. So yeah, I'm just excited. So I think I was just smiling, hearing you talk about, I've always been that way. And just, I'd love to hear how you've noticed your Enneagram number intersecting with your Blackness.
Before you answer that, I just want to say really quick, I asked you that question, Camille, because I'm over here experiencing the exact same thing. Like listening to you, watching you as you talk, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's just so, like we said, hopeful and not, like you said, not the loudest narrative or even representation of Black men. And so it's so rewarding to see it and hear it. Sorry. Go, Kress.
Okay. Appreciate that, by the way. It's not lost on me.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So hugs, right? I have this rule with my friends so I'm very close with my friends and we share a form of intimacy, just hugs. So I've always said we're acquaintances unless you can give me a hug. Unless I hug you and then we get to know each other so actually, quick story. I had this friend in college who I hung out with all the time. And we had a great time. We always had debates about things. There was never, a dull moment whenever we were together. But then one time someone else asked me, like, oh, who are you? Who are you with her? Who are you? I'm like, oh, this is just one of my acquaintances. And she was upset. It's just like acquaintances because she said, hey, we need to talk. I went over to her apartment. This was in college. I went over to her apartment and she's like, I don't like that you say we're acquaintances. What do you mean? We hang out all the time. And I'm like, well, you never really hugged me. You never shook my hand. We don't have any closeness. So to me, you're not a friend. I had to explain to her before she balled up a fist and hit me in the face. So I let her know. But for her, she wasn't someone who was very, touchy-feely or very intimate with her friends. And I'm sorry, that's how I operate. So it was uncomfortable for her, but it was also a very, I thought it was very good for her to kind of get out of her comfort zone for me to solidify our friendship. I thought that was very nice. It felt uncomfortable, obviously, but even once I appreciated it. So thanks for recognizing that this is what I like to do with the people in my life who I care about. So as it pertains to Black people, especially Black men, I like to hug all my homies. And I would say all my homies hug me right back. Because, in the culture, we don't really, Black men they tend to be portrayed as tough, hard, rigid, have to live life, very strenuous. And that's not how I operate. So all my Black male friends, I specifically make sure I go give them a dap, gotta give them the dap, but you gotta come in for a hug too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta come in for a hug. And it's a tight one. We hold it for a couple seconds. Hold it for a couple seconds, especially if it's someone I haven't seen in a long time. Gotta come in and hold for a couple seconds because I think it's important for me to show my people love because we don't get it everywhere. Depending on where you are, I think it's important for me to show my people love. So I do that all the time. I try to take care of my friends emotionally more than anything and make sure that they know they're loved, even if we don't talk much, because I'll complain. I'll be like, so you haven't called me. What happened? Like I haven't heard from you in weeks. I guess you don't love me. That's fine. but I always try to, take care of my friends and make sure, that they're loved, that they're wanted, and that, they're family to me. So the way the journey's been, me and Black people, has always been just to show understanding and caring, and to show more love, because we have a hard time getting it elsewhere. So we got to get it from each other. That's what I try to do, at least. Hopefully it comes off pretty good to my friends.
Well, I'm sure. I mean, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. I'm so confident in that.
Yeah. Not me tearing up like over
I know,
here.
girl.
Literally tearing up listening to you, Kress, of like, because you're, just that's just beautiful. That's the word. It's just beautiful. And you're absolutely right that it's not what's expected, but just that you have been like, no, that's how I function and that's how I want to function. And we need to function. Like, we need love. And just like, I don't know, just the image of you just like embracing your friends is just a beautiful, beautiful picture. And I'm sure that there's just so many other Black men that are maybe listening that are like, either, I don't do that, or I do. Thank goodness I have some friends that I can do that with. So thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, no problem. It feels so normal for me. It seems poignant, but to me, this is every day. This is how I try to live. So it doesn't feel out of character. Even strangers I try to give hugs to, like someone I'm meeting for the first time or something. I'm like, come on, bring it in. Come on for a hug. We're more alike than we are different, no matter where you're from. So
that's right.
Yeah.
Has that softness always been honored in your, like, have you, not by, it sounds like you've honored it for yourself. But do you feel like the world, other people, your family, has it always been honored?
Probably not. No. For all intents and purposes, I was more of like I was kind of like a black sheep for a good portion of my life, especially in my family. I have 5 siblings and 3 stepmothers. So there was a bit of a disconnect. We have like me, my older brother, my older sister were like the big 3, because we were together for a long time before my 2 younger sisters came. And so I was always kind of like the middle child. So somewhat of a black sheep. Like, I didn't do the things that my siblings did. I didn't go the routes that they did. I was more reclusive. I was more aloof. I'm an introvert for all intents and purposes, but I do try to, be a little bit more outgoing when the situation calls for it. But growing up, it was never received as gradually as it is today. As we know, as we're grown up and, we understand the world a little bit more and we understand life a little bit more. I think my caring and my softness has been accepted a little bit more. Because, we're talking school bullies, like other kids that didn't understand. Kids always attack things they don't understand. It's children.
Yeah.
But I've never been like, I don't want to say I've never been a fighter, because then I don't want people to think they could just try me. But I've always been more of like a resolution type of person. So I never, even if I ever got bullied, I never really tried to fight back or anything like that with my fists. I just tell someone older than me, hey, teacher, this guy, get him out of here.
Get him out of here.
Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
Yeah. I'm big on telling the teacher. So yeah, I've never been someone to really fight things like head on. I'm always more of a solutions-based person. I want to find the road less traveled, and find a solution to things, that don't require any physical harm or emotional harm.
Yeah.
If possible, So yeah, so it wasn't as honored as it was now growing up. I think more people appreciate it now, since the world isn't so soft right now. So yeah.
That's an interesting thought. I like that last sentence around because the world isn't as soft. Maybe it is honored a little bit more now. I like that idea.
People value it or appreciate it more.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I apologize if I mumble. I say words together. I don't know. It's because I hear it in my head and I just go mumble all the time.
We're tracking.
All right, totally cool.
Tracking. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's almost like, something that can be taken for granted. Sometimes, we have things that we don't appreciate until we really need it.
Hi, Camille here. I hope you all have been enjoying season 3 as much as Kim and I enjoyed recording it. New this season that I wanted to share is that I will now be offering one-on-one Enneagram consultations. What that means is that if you have any specific and unique questions or curiosities related to the Enneagram, how it shows up for you, how you use it at work, in relationships, how you can use it for growth, or if you need some focused help on even learning your type, then we can meet for 90 minutes to answer those questions. I love doing these as I get to deep dive into your questions and provide you with custom and tailored answers that we get to discuss together. If you're interested, you can reach out to me via social media or in the show notes. You can find my email. I'm excited to get to meet some of you in this personal format and get to be a part of your Enneagram journey. Now, back to the show.
It's difficult to stay in this character. It's difficult to stay in this character. Yeah, because there have been times.
Yeah.
There have been times where I'm like, do I fit the stereotype today? Am I going to have to show up today?
Yeah.
But it's best to choose the other path.
Wow. So that's a question that sometimes you have to ask.
Oh, man. Sometimes. I'll tell you. Yeah. Well, we get past it. We're good.
I was going to say earlier, it's like hearing you, talk about being, how loving and caring you are. But to essentially, not want other people to take that for granted. I think about 2's access to 8 and 8, that 8 energy that, how I love that I love that dynamic about 2's, that, you are so loving, caring, considerate. But it's like, don't get it twisted.
Please.
Because 2's can access that protective, kind of boldness and intensity and turn up. And it can feel very like, whoa, for people who are used to the more like loving, caring, nurturing, it can be an interesting experience.
Yeah, it could be surprising.
Yeah.
You had this in you. I'm like, why do you need to bring it out?
Something I heard Kress and I'm glad you brought out the 8 thing, Kim, because I also really like when 2's can use that 8 access with themselves, like that they can be protective of themselves. And I heard like when you were talking about like, do I want to fit the stereotype today, or do I want to like? And it's like I try to do. It's like I heard a protective nature in that. Like, am I going to protect myself either way? Like, am I protecting the softness, or am I protecting myself if I'm like in a situation where being soft might be harmful? So I just was thinking about like the protectiveness that question holds.
I love that.
Of how am I going to show up today? Do I fit the stereotype today, or do I do what's natural for me?
Correct.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think that I love that, Camille. That point. I think that's it's a good reminder for 2's, that they can access that energy not just for others, or not just in response to others, not just that eyes out as we've described it before, but eyes in. So where you as a person may be in need of like boundaries or protection or boldness to be being accepted and willing to extend that to yourselves.
That's right.
Okay.
Nice. I like these questions, guys.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Just side note to the audience. Kress said he didn't want to know the questions, so these are off the cuff.
For sure.
So Yeah. I love that you're loving them.
Yeah. I think gives a better organic answer.
Yeah.
You've already kind of started to touch on some of your, well, it feels like you're conveying hopes for Black people. I think that that's just kind of a part of maybe your two-ness. But what are some of your hopes for Black people around growth work that they're doing, be it a tool like the Enneagram or therapy or any type of personal development? And we're interested in what your hope is for Black people around this work, like both as an individual and then also for the culture at large.
Specifically, I hope that more Black people who are outside of the normal realm of what some people think Blackness is can be accepted. Like your Black nerds, or like the Black techies, or someone who's Black but in something that's typically a white space, i.e. Enneagram. I would hope that people like that can be more accepted and celebrated a little bit more than they are. Because I think, especially when you're Black, it's easy to kind of cover up some of your likes, kind of cover up some of your hobbies, some of your interests, because it doesn't fit like what others would deem as like the Black narrative. And I think it's important for us to branch out and prove that we're not a monolith. We say it all the time, but I think it's time we have to branch out and prove that we are these different things. And we do see some Black creators, kind of get their just due and see all their hard work come to fruition. But I think it's too far and few between, and we need a little bit more of that. I hope we can have more of our Black creators, more of our Black, nerds, tastemakers, people of interest, just express themselves a little bit more and be more accepted. I have a friend who's a Black filmmaker, and I'm a big fan of hers. And she does her film. She's doing another film in Atlanta, but most of her films celebrate Black women, and they celebrate them in a way that people typically wouldn't think about. Like I think her the first film, the film that she graduated with from Florida State University was a film about stripping called Dream City, but it was less about the club and more about the damage that a friendship had. Because in the film, two of the friends had a falling out. And the film kind of centered around them falling out rather than their jobs. So I thought that was a very interesting way to kind of express that feeling, and she did very well. I thought it was a great film. But I think things like that, where we could be in the space that typically see us, but then give a different message. Yeah. I think things like that would be great. So that's my hope. I hope we could express ourselves more as Black people.
I love it.
Yeah.
Shout out to your friend. Friendships.
Yeah. Shout out to Linsa.
For Black.
Yeah.
Linsa
Judy. She's on her
friendships
way to be
amongst
a great director.
Dope. Friendships amongst Black women are so important, and so we need to highlight that and elevate it and express it, like you said, because this is. I mean, friendship is important for us all, but as Black women, we need each other, and it can just be challenging to navigate. But it doesn't take away from just how incredibly important it is.
I love to see my sisters getting along.
Yeah.
I also feel like, yes, obviously I love female friendship, Black female friendship. That's so good. But then I'm going back to male friendship, right? And again, I'm just impressed with how you try and bring that emotional care to your friends and to your homies with the hugs and have you called me? Have you talked? Because I've recently it's been on my mind a lot. I always say this to clients. I was like, I'll never say that men have it harder than women. But I will recognize that men have an interesting walk. And that there is some ways that the patriarchy and white supremacy impacts male relationships and friendships that a lot of times they don't have emotional connections, and they're not getting hugs, and they're not saying, here's what's going on in my life, unless they're partnered, or they are close to their mom or their sister. Again, unless there's a female presence involved, you're not it doesn't seem like, I always joke, like when I go out to dinner with my friends and my girlfriends, you don't see a table of guys hanging out, chit chatting. You just don't see that. And so I love that you try and bring that to your male friendships about like, hey, there's an emotional element here too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's also kind of to remove the stigma around being emotional, like around your friends, especially Black men, because they tend to see everything as homosexual or gay. Mm-hmm. They always have that stigma about, I'm not hugging him. What you mean? Mm-hmm. I'm not touching him. They always have an elaborate handshake instead of just going in and embrace your brother. Mm-hmm. I think it's dumb. I'm trying to change. Mm-hmm. I change that dynamic within my friendships.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's where it's like it ends up hurting us all, right? Because then it ends up then some people are withholding because they don't want to be seen a certain way,
right?
Because of the messages that we got about that. So it's just bullshit, really.
Yeah. Yeah, super facts.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I hope that going back to, I think, Camille, you were saying like hopes for Black men who are listening. I hope that if for those who are listening and like you have maybe longed for that before, but felt some shame around it, or guilt, or kind of fallen for that like narrative that it's not okay to want to be closer emotionally or more intimate. We can say that word even, and it's not about sex or physical intimacy. It's just about connection. So if you're, as a Black man, like if you've longed for that and felt that and kind of blocked it because of stereotypes and stigmas, that if even just as you're listening, that if you can allow yourself to just honor that part of you that longs for that and know that it's like totally like normal and good for you. And good for all of us.
All of us.
For sure. Black men, listen, go hug your friend. If he doesn't accept your hug, ask him why. If he can't tell you why, he probably needs to call Kim or Camille.
Or if he can't tell you why, then you guys are gonna have a really good conversation about some of the messages, right? Like, and then you guys can sit down and talk about that. And then there you go. You're now having an emotional, intimate conversation about what you learned about Black men and touch, and closeness, and about homosexuality and whatever other topics come up just from that simple thing of I don't hug my friends. Yeah. Interesting. So you said you can call Kim or Camille. So our next question actually is, what has been your relationship or thoughts around therapy? What does that look like in your life? Whatever you feel willing to share, or even if it's just some growth work. So if it's not therapy formally, but what has that looked like for you?
A while back, I had I think it was right after I graduated college, I was looking for a job. And it was difficult. I couldn't find jobs. And not in anything that I wanted to do, obviously. And that's when I had almost became a teacher. Because I thought to myself, I have an English degree. I could do this. I could teach. And I was like this close to becoming a substitute just to try it out. But then I thought to myself, I saw all the work that I had to do just to even sign up. I had to get these certifications. I'm like, I don't want to do this. Like, this isn't really what I wanted to do. So I kind of abandoned that. Then I ended up having this job writing job advertisements for staffing companies. The job itself was really good, but the environment that I was in was horrendous. I had a terrible boss. Terrible boss did not make me feel like going to work every day. I hated going to work. And since most of our clients at the time were in California, so we ended up working at like 10 a.m. because they lived like 3 hours behind. So we ended up starting work at 10 a.m. and I always dreaded that 10 a.m. and I didn't like that feeling. So I had, I left that job, I think about 6 or 8 months in, but it didn't leave me with a good taste in my mouth per se. So what I ended up doing, I got another job. This is my first job in IT at a courthouse, West Palm nearby. So I had my friend's dad, who's an IT director, who also kind of took me on as kind of a student. He's my mentor now, but he took me on as kind of like an IT student, and he brought me on different jobs, put me in different lines of fire so I could learn things quickly. And then I used that to catapult myself into a career, into my IT career that I have now. And so my first IT job I think that was like my first real job where I had like insurance and could take days off.
That's real. That's real.
Yeah. So I used it to get into Talkspace. When I learned I was able to do therapy with it. I used it to get into Talkspace. And I think at the time, COVID had just kind of started. Mm-hmm. So people were at home, so I couldn't do anything face to face, but we did it remotely. And my very first thought was, I need a Black woman to talk to. So I ended up with this therapist named Precious, and who was in Orlando. But we would have great sessions, and at first it was challenging because she would challenge me, because you would think you would go over there and you just spill your heart out, and they'd be like, "How did that make you feel?" But no, that's not how it works. You have to do work, and that's the difficult part. I think about therapy and working on yourself is that's what it is. It is really just work. It's a job, but it's a job for you. And I think once you put into work to consciously change yourself, or to consciously help the therapist help you kind of adjust these things about you that you're unsure about, or that you don't like, or that aren't serving you very well. Once you put in the effort and the work to change that, you'll see that the therapy will come through in a very good way. So I always thought that in therapy it was important to put yourself first and to listen to what your therapist says, not just, in terms of solutions, but also think about things in terms of a concept. She'll give you, something to do, but you can adjust it to your needs to make it work for you. She always challenged me to meet new people, and I'd have to go meet like 2 new people a week. And I'm like, I don't really walk with people. I'm like, this is stranger danger. But then I would go to, but there's this pub I go to watch soccer, and someone new will come by, and I'll probably just lightly pull up a chair next to them at the bar, and they'd be like, "Hey, what's your team?" And then they'll tell me team, and then we end up in a conversation because we're in a like-minded space, so it's easy to get to know somebody. And then I would write that down. I'm like, haha, I'm gotta tell Precious I met her in person. It always felt like a game too. It felt kind of like a game. So I'd always be happy to tell her I met this person, because then that affirmation, that feedback, that all right, great job, that makes you feel like, all right, cool, I'm doing something now. It's working. I'm trying my best,
Yep.
Yeah. So I had her for a couple months, and then afterwards, I thought things were doing better. But I lost that job until I lost my Talkspace. But I got another job now, so it's fine.
Yes.
It's fine. But I haven't been back in therapy since. But I think doing the work back then really, really helped me kind of break out of the slump that I was in, especially when it came down to having that terrible job and like starting out my whole adult career. My adult career is so backwards, I felt like. So it really helped me catapult into like a better space mentally. For sure.
That's really cool. Shout out to Precious. All right.
Shout out Precious. I hope she's still doing therapy.
And just so that Talkspace, in case people don't know what it is, it's which I'm pretty sure most people know. It's an online platform where you can kind of get linked up to a therapist really easily. It's similar to BetterHelp, if folks have heard about that one. And there's definitely some really great pros to Talkspace and BetterHelp. And then there's some cons to it too, but it's a really accessible way for people. It sounds exactly like for someone like Kress, who was like, oh, let me try this. This is really accessible for me to jump on here and meet somebody. And it sounds like it was a good experience. So shout out to that working out for you and being a really great resource.
Yeah. This is not an ad, by the way.
Right. Not an ad.
Or an endorsement.
Yeah. Yeah.
I appreciate you kind of sharing that as far as it being work. I think that's something that a lot of us can miss coming into a therapeutic space, is that, like you said, people, they think that as the professional and as the expert, we're going to just pretty much think that it's the way to kind of, it's a shortcut. It's a way to bypass work. And there are no shortcuts, as my therapist reminded me not too long ago. And so, yeah, that it's work, and kind of when you can accept that's when it really starts working. Right. So definitely appreciate you like highlighting that. Yeah. It sounds like pressure.
Go ahead. So no, go ahead. You continue. Sorry.
No, I'm good. Go ahead. Sorry, Frank. Sorry.
I was going to say, I also really liked, because I have to work on this too when I'm in therapy. It's not necessarily about the like what to do or like the advice, but the concept. I really liked you saying that, because it sometimes we want to just get into therapy and be like, okay, tell me what I need to do to fix this. And I feel like I have clients, like a lot of times, right? Like we'll end a session and it ends with, okay, I just want you to notice what happens when you are in the room with those people. Like I just want you to notice what's going on in your body. And people are like, well, and then what? And it's like, that's all. Just the concept, just the concept of noticing that. Or I just want you to like think about that differently. Right. And there might not be like a specific task, but the concept of, I noticed that I was really tense when I was in the room with those people. And how can I just pay attention to that? Because I've never paid attention to my body. And then how do I answer, or how do I meet the needs of what my body is trying to say right now? Right. Like that's a whole concept, as opposed to like, oh, this is just don't hang out with those people. So I really liked that recognition about the conceptual thing, the abstractness sometimes of therapy. Yeah.
I think also an important aspect is being ready to change your mind. Is being ready to, come in with an open mind and be prepared to change. Because I think some people go into it and just think they're going to spill their hearts and then things will be all better. Like, no, you have to be ready to change the way you think about things. Sometimes it may require you to change the way you think about people in your life.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to go in with an open mind if you do decide to seek therapy.
Yeah.
In your work with Precious, were there any like gems that stand out to you that you remember? Was there ever like a particular, seed she kind of planted that still sticks with you? Maybe like a one-liner or a question, or maybe it was an activity like go and hang out, in a local pub and watch meet somebody.
She actually helped me realize something about my sleep patterns, because I hadn't been getting good sleep, and I've been having bad dreams or nightmares or whatever, and it wasn't enjoyable. And she always asked me, like, what do you do before bed? And I realized I was eating too late. I was eating too late, and it was affecting the way I dreamt and the way I slept. And now because of her, I cut off like eating late, or I try to cut off depending on the day and if I'm outside. Sure. But I try to cut off eating late, because now I'll recognize that it'll mess with my sleep and it'll mess with my dreams. And more importantly, it'll mess with my gastrointestinal system. But I don't sleep well if I eat too late. And I didn't think about it until she told me, well, how do you correlate this? Like, this seems to be happening when you do this and listen to it. I'm like, oh, dang, you're right. How you guys should stop doing that? Yeah. So gradually, I got my eating better. Yeah. But she helped with that for sure.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Sleep is important. People, it's amazing how often because maybe it becomes like we've become used to it, like our sleep being impacted or disrupted, people just kind of accept it. And it blows my mind. I have many people who come to therapy with me who've been with a therapist before, and like their sleep issues never came up. Therapists don't like ask about how you're sleeping, but your sleep, it is so important. And if you're having issues with your sleep, it is so important to look at your bedtime routine, amongst other things. But oftentimes that's a place I'll start with folks. Precious sound like she knew what she was doing, child. Okay, girl, we see you.
Precious was cooking.
Yeah, definitely. Like co-sign what Kim's saying about the sleep. That is, you can't do much if you're tired and cranky, and you're gonna be cranky. You're gonna be moody. You're gonna be sluggish. You're gonna be like, it's so important, and people miss it. And what I love with like the sleep, the bedtime routine that you talked about, I also talk about like sleep hygiene and just like, when I think about it, especially for Black people, like the day is long and it's hard. And like, you gotta have a little buffer where you are taking care of yourself. You're turning down the lights. You're putting on nice music. You're rubbing the lavender lotion on you. You're, you're doing your hair and skin routine. Like, you gotta like
humidifier, essential oils, turn on your candle.
I want you to spritz your pillow. I really want you to really take care of yourself.
Put your phone in another room, unplug, turn
I want you to do a meditation and journal,
stretch, drink your water.
You gotta do it. You gotta do it because you have had a hard day. And, we run, whether we run so late and we eat late, like what Kress is saying, or we run so late and we're still working and we're still sitting on our bed with our laptops, or we run so late, we're taking care of all the kids and doing all the things that all of a sudden it's whatever time you go to bed and then you try and lay down, you're not going to fall asleep. Well, you're going to wake up, you're going to fall asleep, and then you're going to wake up in 2 hours and be up thinking about all the stuff you didn't do. So you gotta, like, sleep is such a priority that's often missed. It's kind of, sleep to me is when I talk to clients about breathing. It's like this like thing that we all do. It's like, yeah, we're going to spend some time learning to breathe. And people are like, what? And I'm like, we're going to spend some time looking at your sleep. And I'm like, yep. 2 very basic things that I think will actually be game changers.
Yep. 100%.
Nice.
100%.
Yeah. All true.
So yeah, take care of yourself before bed. You deserve it. It's a literal human necessity to sleep. And then also, like, we deserve good rest.
Yeah. Yeah. And especially, if you're doing like self-growth work, if you're in therapy, like, and you're coming to sessions and we're, working through stuff, like Camille said, like you're setting yourself up. That's going to be really, really challenging if you're not rested, if you're exhausted, if you haven't, if you're not getting sleep. Very important. I'm glad we touched on this.
Yeah, super important.
I hope y'all hear us.
Shout out to Precious. And that's a great gem that she gave you. A gem that still sticks with you, that sounds like you still focus on, is I got to get sleep.
Yeah, I can confirm. It works.
Yeah. That's amazing. Well, Kress, like, where can people find you? Where can people get connected to your work? Tell us about what you're working on, what you're doing, and how people can connect with you.
They can't connect with me. I don't want to connect with anybody.
Okay. Don't reach out to this man.
I'm aloof. No. You can find me on Instagram at fstopk. That's my film Instagram, where I'd like to get more traction. I'd like to get people understanding more. It's fstop_k.
We'll make sure we put it in the show notes.
Yeah.
So people can. Okay.
I think that's where because I posted some clips from my documentary there. I think that's where I'll use I'll use that platform to mostly educate people about film and my direction of how I want to take film. I'm still learning. I'm still very novice in this, but I have some friends in the industry that help me out sometimes. So yeah, fstopk, or you can listen to my podcast, A Lot About Nothing podcast, a lot about pod.com. That podcast is just entertainment. It's all fun. We talk about serious subjects, but the way I tend to portray the podcast is we try to talk about things that people don't think about on the daily, like like being tired and driving, right? Driving is extreme danger if you do it every day without thinking. Recycling, everyone just throws things in the recycling bin, but is it really recyclable? We just did a recycling episode. We talk about photography, art, but we do it in a way where it's entertaining. So don't go there trying to learn. We are not experts in anything, but we try to have a good time.
I love the title of it. A lot about nothing. It's like perfect. Yeah. It's
a show about everything, but in the end, it all means nothing. That's the idea behind it. But yeah, follow me at fstop_k, and follow my podcast, A Lot About Nothing.
Yay. Thank you so much. Yeah. It's been such a pleasure having you.
It's been a pleasure being here. I love this podcast.
Yay.
This podcast loves you back because this podcast would not be if it weren't for you.
Kind of.
It wouldn't.
No, it really would not.
Kind of. Yeah.
There's no way.
It would not. And even if we had like another editor, it wouldn't be you.
True.
So it wouldn't be what it is.
Yeah. Hopefully there's only one me.
There is only one you.
That's what
facts.
Yeah.
All right. That's good. I appreciate it.
We're glad we got you.
Yes. We're so glad.
Thank you.
I'm happy I could help.
Yeah. We're going to hold on. We'll hold on right back.
Nice.
All right, folks. I think that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. We'll see you on the next episode.
This is when I start playing the music.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kress. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.